Hello, everyone. Hope you can hear me and see me. All right, trying to make sure everything is where I can see. All right, we'll give everybody a few minutes to join us for this live event. All right, so much is going on. A few little announcements as we wait. Locally, you know, I teach parents locally. I was asked to speak at a women's brunch, prayer brunch. This is in at Macedonia Missionary Baptist Church in Notasulga, March 28th. I am really looking forward to that, and I hope many will join us. I will try to answer a few questions at the very end. So I see people joining. Also, I will try to keep people updated on a variety of, upcoming events, so that if it's in your area and you're able to come, you can come and join us. Also, I'll probably say something now and even at the end while we wait for some others to join us. I will let you know that I have written my first book, and it is to encourage people who are have been diagnosed with cancer, who are going through with that serious, very serious disease, sickness, terrible experience. I am a cancer survivor, and I am hoping to encourage family members and others. And the book is entitled Left with Half of a Face. It is being sold on Amazon for those who are interested. So please go there. You can check it out. All right, maybe just another minute, giving people, I see many people are starting to join us, giving them an opportunity to start watching. And then we will get started. Hopefully, maybe about 15 or 20 minutes with the updates. Usually when I do my videos, they are recorded. But this time, with so much going on in our world, I wanted to do it live. Maybe I can reach out to even more people to help during this time. A lot of children are at home because schools are closed. So reaching out to even more and more parents. All right. We will go ahead and get started. Hello, everybody. I am Frazelma, and I am teaching parents. I am a retired teacher and school administrator. I had over 31 years in the school system, and even during that time, I also taught parents. So I am still teaching parents. I work with one-on-one. I do one-on-one sessions with parents. I do small groups with parents. I do larger workshops with parents, because parenting is so very important. And we have to remember that we are left with the gift of training these wonderful, precious children that God has given to us. So we have to work at being the absolute best parents that we can be. We have to learn things that we need to help our children. We have to search out for things for different resources. So we have to be the absolute best parents we can be because our children deserve the best. Also, a couple of years ago, I was faced with dealing with cancer, and I was diagnosed with cancer in my sinuses. I had to have chemotherapy, radiation, and then they had to do facial reconstructive surgery where they removed half of my face and reconstructed me a new face. So, yes, even with all of that, I cannot stop. I cannot make excuses. I will not give up. I will continue to do what God has called me to do, and He called me to teach the parents. So that's what I'll be doing. Some of you have never joined me before, so welcome, welcome, and welcome. Now, this whole series tonight is really talking about tips for parents because, you know, schools are closed. Across our country, many school districts are closed. During this very serious time dealing with this pandemic, even though schools are closed, some have already said for a couple of weeks. Some say indefinitely. We as parents still have to step up. These are our children. And parents are the child's first teacher. We've said that for years and years. Well, truly, parents, we have to step up and make sure that we are doing what we need to do for our children while they are at home with us. We have to monitor their behavior, their education, everything dealing with them. Right now, we are responsible for monitoring all of it while they are home with us. So hopefully tonight you'll get some tips and some encouragement on ways that you can do this. I have just finished traveling from North Carolina for the funeral of a very dear family member. But in doing that, I was in contact with people who lived in Maryland, people who lived in New York and Florida and South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, different states. And there are so many different concerns with children being home out of school. However, some school districts already had a contingency plan in place. So some of them, for the early ed students who were pre-K, maybe up to second grade, teachers prepared packets of assignments that were disseminated to these students. Parents could either come to the schools and pick these packets up, or some of the school districts actually delivered to parents that didn't have a mode of transportation. Some of the school districts for third grade up through 12th grade had teachers to download software so that students could go in on Chromebooks and work on school assignments. Now, I know some parents may not realize how important that is, but trust me, if students don't continue to be reviewed on information that they have already been presented with, then of course they will forget what they've been taught. So we need, as parents, to step up and make sure that we allow our students at home, our children, to still do school assignments. Even if your school district has not assigned anything as of yet, if teachers have not assigned your child any work to do at home, parents, we can do that ourselves. We can Google on our phones class assignments for that grade level. So go and Google class assignments for reading in that grade level, or literature if they're high school, or math for whatever grade level, science and social studies, art and music. Go ahead and Google that if your school district has not already put something in place for your child. In the past, in some of the previous videos, we also talked about screen time. So please don't allow your child to just sit around at home and do absolutely nothing for the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever it may be. Please start structuring your child's day. They need to have at least 2 hours doing schoolwork. It can be 3, it can be 4 hours, but at least 2 hours doing schoolwork. You will have to find a quiet place for them so that they can focus on either the assignment the teacher has provided or the assignment that you, the teacher, will provide for them. Make sure that you monitor what they are doing. Don't allow your child to just scribble. Don't allow your child to throw something together. Make sure your child is putting forth the effort to do their best on these assignments. Students also need to read daily. Just because they're not in school does not mean they don't need to read. They still need to read. If you don't have a library of books at your house, please download ebooks. If you have Kindle, download the ebooks. If you don't have Kindle, please get it and be sure to download books that your child can read. In some areas, the public library is still open. Please go if you can and check out books for your child to read. They need to read daily. If they are in elementary school, let them read to you or whomever is keeping them during the day. Let them read out loud to them. If they are pre-K, kindergarten, first grade, and they are just learning to read, then let someone read to them. But after the story, please ask questions to see if they understand what has been read. Ask details about the story. Ask about the characters. Ask the child what would they do if they were in the story. Try to come up with a different ending of the story. See what parts of the story your child liked or didn't like, and discuss the story with your child. Even if it's an ebook, it doesn't matter. Please talk to your child about what they are reading or what's being read to them. This is every day. If they are in middle school up to high school, they still need to read on their grade level. You can have them to use emojis to be able to retell whatever story they are reading or whatever short story or literature they're reading. Let them use emojis to tell you what happened in the story. Or let them create a playlist of songs and take out portions of the songs to retell whatever the story is. There's always a creative way for you to interact with your child, your children, to get them to do the things they need to do and to learn. While students are at home, parents, this is a great time to teach them and to reiterate the things that have already been taught. This is a great time to work on good manners at home. Excuse me. Thank you. May I have this? This is a great time to work on good manners at home. A great time to work on how to be respectful. Because normally the children are not at home with you all day long. Our patience can get short. So this is a great time to work on being respectful. Use the things that the children are being taught in school. They're being taught how to measure liquid, how to measure amounts of something. So why not use that as a lesson to work on cooking? Let them learn to cook. Let them learn to cook something maybe they haven't cooked before so that they can measure. Let them bake cookies or make a cake or do something where they can use measurement. A great time, guys and ladies, if you are a teenager. Most teenagers want to learn to drive. One thing about it, gas prices are low. So this is a good time to work on driving lessons. It's a great time to teach them how to check their tires, the tires on the car. Make sure the tires have enough air in them, to learn how to check the oil on the car. We have to put what has been taught in class, we have to now put that into practice. For us here in the South, grass is starting to grow. It's time to mow grass again. If your child doesn't know how to mow grass, what a perfect opportunity. Teach them how to mow the lawn. Teach them how to use the washer and dryer. Many of us as parents, we try to do everything, but this is a perfect opportunity to start teaching your child or your children how to do some of the things at home. Teach them how to measure the amount of detergent that goes in the washing machine, or the amount of softener that goes in the washing machine. Teach them how to separate the clothes and wash the clothes, how to dry the clothes. Teach them those things while they're at home. Teach your child how to balance the checkbook. You can use fake money, monopoly money, or even real money. Teach them how to balance the checkbook, how to create a budget, how to save a little money, how to put a little money away for an emergency, how to spend a little money on things they need and not just blow all of their money on anything and nothing at all. This is a perfect time. And parents, because we have to be very mindful of how we spend our money, especially right now, it's a perfect time to teach our children how to budget their money. It's even a perfect time how to teach our children not to be wasteful with the things we have at home, whether it's paper towels or toilet tissue or food in the kitchen. This is a perfect time to teach our children why we don't need to be wasteful at home. At this point, in school, even the teachers are required to teach our children good character traits. Well, parents, it's back on you. We actually should be the ones responsible for teaching our children good character traits. So let's teach our children to be thoughtful. Let's teach them to be patient. Let's teach them to be helpful. Let's teach them to persevere. Let's teach them all those wonderful character traits that teachers are supposed to be teaching also at school. If you need a list of character traits, more than likely, you can go to your school district website and find them. I know that we have a list of traits here for our school district. Teach them how to measure with a ruler. What size is their bedroom? The square footage of their bedroom. How long is their bed? Teach them how to actually measure something. We teach in school how to use the ruler or the tape measure, but what a great way to reinforce what's being taught in school by doing all of those things at home. Let your child start working on a vision board. What do they want to be when they grow up? And how do they plan to be that? What are the necessary measures to become whatever it is they want to be? And then parent, talk with them about how to become whatever that is. Google some of the jobs that are included if they want to be a mechanic. Do they want to specialize in trucks? Do they want to specialize in a specific type of car? Work only on Toyotas or only on Cadillacs or whatever the case may be. Talk with them about their visions for the future and start a vision board. This is a great time to talk about family heritage. Talk to them about when you were growing up. Talk to them about your family. Talk to them about where you were raised, what it was like, what people did. What did you do on Saturday mornings? What shows did you watch? Oh, and it's a perfect time for us to spend maybe 30 minutes or an hour watching some of the old shows that are so wholesome and show our children how to treat people respectfully. This is a great time to watch some of that with your child. It's a great time to renew your relationship with your child. You're home. If you are home with your child, spend time talking and listening, having a conversation with your child, knowing the things they like and enjoy. Let them know the things you like. Let them ask you questions about life. It's a perfect time to just renew a relationship. It's a perfect time, if you are a believer, to get the Bible out and to start having Bible study with them at home. It's a perfect time to do all of those things with your child at home. You can Google science projects and allow your child to create some type of science project. If your child likes to build things with Legos, why don't you all have a contest and see who can build the highest structure or the widest structure in 30 minutes? You can Google math projects and let your child work on math projects. You should know your child well enough to know the areas your child may be weak in. If they're weak in reading, then Google activities, enrichment activities for reading in your child's grade level. If your child struggles in science or math, or if they just don't like the subject, Google fun activities in that area and then allow your child or assist your child to, work those projects or those assignments. Also, in some school systems, teachers were asked and recommended to be sure they have their Google Classroom information updated so that students or parents could go to that for additional resources and even links to assignments that will connect with the grade level and what has already been taught. So please, if you have your teachers, your child's teachers Google Classroom information, please use that information to update you on things that your child can do, assignments that they can do. Also, please go to your school district's website or your school's website. There should be additional information there, either for assignment links or for food distribution. Most school districts that have closed have some form of food distribution, breakfast and lunch, or either or. So go to the school district's website. They will have information there to let you know what schools or what places have food distributions where you can just go and pick up a sack lunch for breakfast, or a sack lunch for a sack for breakfast, or a sack for lunch for your child. So be sure to check on that. It should also tell you the times that the food distribution is available. Some places are also allowing you to call in and they will deliver the food if you don't have transportation. So just check your school district's website to get that information. We all have to stick together, and parents, we have to step up and do our part in teaching our children. These are our children. And yes, so many parents have thought that school was just a babysitter for their child. Well, it wasn't then, and it's not now. And so you are going to have to step up and be sure your child or your children get the information that they need, the academic information that they need. I see a lot of people just joining, so let me reiterate a few things that I said. Please, parents, be sure that your children are reading books daily. You can either use the Kindle and download ebooks, or if your school or your public library is what I meant to say. If your public library is open, please go and get books for your child, whatever age level. When your child reads books, they need to be able to show you that they're understanding what they read and not just saying words. So please ask questions about the story. You have to listen to the story. Ask them about characters and what the characters are doing and why the characters would do that. And if they were in that story, what would they do? So you have to make sure you're listening to the stories. For high school, middle school, and high school students, come up with creative ways for them to tell you what they've read about. You can Google that, and they can come up with ways to tell you. One of the ways is they can tell you by emojis. Let them pull up emojis to tell you an entire story of what has happened. Or they can come up with a playlist of songs, and they will choose sections of the songs to create for you the story. And you should be able to understand the flow of the story by what they are giving you. Also, this is a great time, again, teach manners. Teach your children how to cook. Teach them how to change the oil in the car, or how to check the tires and be sure there's air in the tire, the right pressure of air. Teach them how to wash the clothes, how to separate the clothes correctly. Teach them how to budget money. Perfect time, because right now we're all needing to budget money. This is not the time to run out and just buy anything for your children. Teach them how to use a checkbook and balance a checkbook, how to use a ruler and measure things. Teach them how we parents live, what we have to do, all right? And talk to them, reestablish relationships with them while they are at home. Be sure that you set aside at least, that's the least amount, at least 2 hours for them to do school assignments, either assignments that their teacher has provided or assignments that you as the parent have gone to Google or gone to the school website, and you've been able to get these assignments for your child. Please, please, please do not allow your child to sit at home and do absolutely nothing every day. Children's minds need to review information that has been taught so that they can retain what has already been taught this school year. Please do not let them entertain themselves all day. You are the parent, and you are responsible for what your child is learning at this point. The teachers can give assignments, but parents, you still have to monitor. You still have to make sure your child is actually working, doing the assignment, completing the assignment. You still have to monitor them. That's your job anyway, as a parent. So parents, we have to step up and not allow our children to miss a beat. We have to do whatever is needed. These are our children. These are our children. And we have to be the best parents possible for our children. Go to your school system's website. Find out what you need to do. Find out about food distribution. Find out about assignment links that you can go to. All right? I don't really see a lot of questions, and I'm really glad someone did share a website with me, and I'll try to share that on my Facebook page so all of you will have access to that. But please, parents, set up a schedule for your children at each day. They still need a time to get up. It may not be as early as they were getting up, but please set up a time for them to get up. Set up a time for them to have breakfast. Set up a time for them to do different things around the house. Set up a time for them to read a book. Set up a time for them to do assignments. Set up a time for them to work a puzzle. Set up a time for them to do projects. Set up a time for them to go outside. They still need exercise. Then set up some free time. Sure, if they want to get on whatever social media you allow them to, or Google, set up a time for that. But you have to now set up a schedule for your children each day while they are at home. Please use this time wisely. Our children need for their parents to step up. Make sure they use this time wisely. All right, that's all I have for now. Remember, I am Frazelma Teaching Parents. I will try to come back on live. I'll let you know if it's going to be this weekend. I'll give you more tips based on what's going on at that time. Please share the video with others so that all of us as parents can step up and do what we need to do while our children are at home with us. Also, please check me out on Facebook and Instagram, Frazelma Teaching Parents. I hope that you will click like, and I hope that you will subscribe to the YouTube channel. Last but not least, I also need to slip this in for you. I have just written my first book. It's called Left with Half of a Face. This is to encourage people who are dealing with cancer. I am a cancer survivor, and I want to encourage others as they go through this fight with cancer. It's being sold on Amazon. You have to put in the entire title, Left with Half of a Face. All right? Now, I think that's all that I need to say. I thank you so very much for joining me. Parents, let's step up and be the absolute best parents we can be. You know, some of us will say, let's go old school. Let's teach our parents all the things that we were taught when we were children. So come on, parents, step up. Do what you need to do, even in this very serious time. Thank you for joining me. I am doing all that God called me to do. He told me, teach the parents. Thank you very much. See you next time.